You can't rely on anybody outside of yourself to heal you, nor should you. They can't heal you. Only you can heal you. Because to heal, you have to be in the feeling of yourself as you are, which will guide you in how to be in yourself whilst you're in that condition. If your leg hurts, only you know the hurt in your leg, and that will limit how you use that leg for as long as it needs in order to heal itself. And every part of you heals itself all the time, all day, every day. It's surviving, it's recovering. Every part of you is doing its own thing. There's no central you, the thinker, the intelligent one, the clever one, who is controlling any of that. That is just happening. Let it happen. Get out of the way. Bringing thinking and ideas into the healing process of the living organism is why we become dependent on one another to go through these natural processes that are happening for every other species on the planet and have been for millions of years. And this species that we are has come out of all those species and has the same intelligence, the same natural abilities to heal itself far beyond anything we can even comprehend intellectually. And we certainly can't duplicate it. We don't have that understanding. We don't know how the body heals itself. We only know that it does. And what is required for it to heal itself? The very cream of self-help is to leave yourself to its own natural resources. Leave it alone and it will heal itself, or it won't. And ultimately, that's where it's going to end up. One day we simply won't heal and we will die. But up until that point, we will keep healing. Up until the point of dying, obviously we've kept healing. We've kept recovering. But then there's another issue of the quality of our life. The quality of our life is very important, for us to be living a life without suffering. So how do we live a life without suffering when there is something physically wrong or something mentally wrong? Is to really question this idea. Is it really wrong? Is it really wrong or bad to feel some distress from a situation in life? Is it really wrong or bad to have an ailment in your physical condition because of injury or because of something in your environment poisoning you or harming you in some way? Well, of course not. So we need to be able to live with these conditions and not suffer them. So how do we live with any condition, mental or physical, without suffering it? We stop trying to get rid of it. We stop trying to help ourselves. We stop going to others for help first. And we start listening to our own body. Listening meaning feeling the condition that we are in. Now, you won't understand this. I mean it. I have never met anybody in my life that knows what it is to feel. And I've been working with people for 45 years. And I've never come across one individual yet that truly knows how to feel, and therefore how to not suffer the condition they're in. There's a lot in it. So listen to what I have to say about this. Thinking about your condition or thinking about how it feels to be you is not feeling. Feeling is something that is going on in the body before thinking comes into it. So thinking about yourself or any part of yourself is going to prevent you from truly feeling that as it is. Any thoughts you have about any condition you're in are thoughts that are going to color your experience of that condition to fit with your dislike of that condition. And that's what causes suffering. Your beliefs, your ideas about how you should be compared with how you are. And you've had that fight going on. So how do you get back to discovering how you really are is in how it really feels to be you when you're not thinking about you. And that feeling is in the place where thinking can't even go. And that feeling is the physical sensations throughout the body of you. And however it feels in the physical sensations throughout or in any part of the body of you, that's how it feels to be you. And anything you think about that will change the feeling of that to fit with your thoughts about it. And that's what's going to cause you to no longer experience the sensation of yourself as it really is. Because the only way to experience any sensation of the live experience of you is before you taint it with your views and with your attempts to change it at all, and your attempts to help yourself. Only you can help yourself. But how do you help yourself? You help yourself by getting out of your own way. And that means stop thinking about your condition and drop into the deeper felt sense of it in your body and live with the feeling of it as it is. All the ideals that you have about how you should be and how you shouldn't be are interfering with this. This ability to simply feel yourself as you are is destroyed by all the ideas of how you think or how you have been taught to think you want to be. And how you want to be, being what you've been taught to want, is not actually how you want to be or need to be. It's just an idea that is making it harder for you to be the way you are. And the way you are is only known when you just be that without comparing that with any other way to be. And don't look for help with that, because no one can help you be you. No one can help you feel how it feels to be you. Only you can do that. And if you really feel in the body of you, the feeling of you, however that is, that feeling will do something of its own volition that animals have been allowed themselves to do for millions of years and still do. And we're an animal as well. And if we can allow ourselves to let this animal take care of itself from the inside out by feeling any disturbance as it is, without these ridiculous ideologies which have taught us to believe that we shouldn't be in these states. We shouldn't be in pain. We shouldn't be sad. We shouldn't be distressed. We shouldn't be frightened. Why the hell not? They're all part of being a human being. But you don't have to suffer these conditions. You can suffer being happy as much as you can being sad. If you're happy for too long, you will suffer stupefaction. You will suffer desensitization of the living organism that you are, because this body is not designed to have the same state all the time. It's designed, and it exists in constantly changing, fluctuating states, because these constantly changing, fluctuating states are actually indicators of how we are at each and every moment of our life. And we are not always the same. We are always changing. And therefore, the sense of that change, the feeling of that change, must change as well. So to maintain this artificial condition of being happy all the time, or peaceful all the time, or blissful all the time, is very, very harmful to the sensitivity and the intelligence of the human being, as it would be to any other animal on the planet. And because of thinking, we've found ways to do this. But how did this imaginary need and this idea that I need help, or that we need help, or that we should help one another, how the hell did this come about? It's pretty easy to figure it out, actually, when you start thinking. You start thinking about yourself. So when did you start thinking? When you were taught to think, at a very early age. And at that point, rather than feeling the way you were, because you had nothing else you could do, you had no other way to be other than how you were physically, Once you start learning to think about yourself, then you can start thinking about yourself other than the way you are and imagining those experiences into existence, imagining those ideas into existence. But this can be very harmful as well. What if we're taught to think that we're fools and we learn to think of ourselves and view ourselves as a fool? Then we induce that experience. Yeah. What if we learn to think about ourselves as a brilliant person? Then we think about ourselves that way and we try and live up to that brilliance all the time, causing tremendous pain to ourselves in the process, because no one's more brilliant than another. That's just thought-induced nonsense. We're all exactly the same. But that's another topic. Right now, I'm trying to help you understand. I just did it myself, didn't I? I'm trying to help you when you don't need help. You only need help to understand that you don't need help. If the animals were able to do that for millions of years, to take care of themselves without even thinking about it, there's the solution. You can take care of yourself, but it's not something you're going to do because you've worked it out, because you've thought about it. It's when you stop thinking about it. To leave yourself alone is understood as to stop thinking about all the different conditions you're in. Stop worrying about that. And just understand that every sensation in your body, from one day to the next, every changing sensation, every condition you go through, you are going through that as a corrective process of whatever effects life has had on you, and you are correcting that automatically. And you don't know how to correct it mentally. Mentally, we don't have a clue. It's not something we've ever been able to figure out, is how the body continually resolves all the problems that we think we have. But only if we get out of the way, only if we stop trying to correct them through some thought-induced state or some information or some knowledge that we have. It's all failed miserably. Medicine has failed miserably. Even natural medicine, failing miserably. Why? Because we have to wake up from this illusion that we need help, when the help that we need is already there. We can help ourselves, and only we can help ourselves. Only you can feel how it feels to be you. So only you, by feeling how it feels to be you, can know exactly what is needed. And I don't mean what is needed is which drug do I need or which food do I need. I mean, what do I need to do right now is guided from how I feel. If I feel tired, then there's my need. I need to rest. If I feel a pain somewhere, then I need to adjust according to that pain until that pain sorts itself out. By all means, use whatever methods you're used to using to help yourself. But one day, if you start to apply this now, you'll discover that you will need these things less and less and less, and only in times of absolute crisis, and mostly caused by what we humans have invented and brought into the world to poison ourselves and harm ourselves with. Only by these means have we then developed such ailments that we need such extreme crisis interventions. Otherwise, living as the simple creature that we are, as long as we are there in the feeling of us, and you really do need the feeling of you, the physical sensation of you, and to be quiet enough, meaning to take things slow enough so you notice how you feel, not to worry about how you feel, not to obsess over that, but to feel it from within as it's occurring. You don't have to think about feeling to feel it. You simply have to thaw out. Stop thinking so much about yourself and go deeper into the sensations of yourself that exist of their own right and that are processing of their own volition. They are sorting themselves out naturally there's no one doing that. There's no one there to do that. There's no one in here doing all that. The body and every part of the body just does it itself. That's the natural state of every creature, every living organism, including the organism we live on, the planet Earth. Leave it alone and look how it cleans itself up. Look how it repairs itself. All the crap that we bring to the world is so harmful. The damage we do is so much. And all we got to do is stop doing the damage. And how do we stop doing the damage? And what will happen when we stop doing the damage to ourselves? We stop doing the damage by stop thinking about ourselves, stop worrying about ourselves, stop thinking we should be in any other way, in any other condition, and any other person other than the one we are. Stop attacking ourselves. Stop trying to change yourself. Stop trying to improve yourself. This improvement myth, there is no way you can improve on what you are. Because at each second of your life, every day of your life, you are exactly as you should be, determined by what you have been through up until this point. And if you leave that alone, as you are, will take care of itself, whatever condition you're in. Leave it alone and let nature take its course. Let what you are go through whatever process it's going to go through to clean itself up. And it will. But you've got to stop thinking about yourself. And you've been conned into thinking you shouldn't be in this condition, you should be in that condition. It's just not true. Nobody is in a permanently high state. No one is in a permanently low state. You may feel you are sometimes, but you're maintaining that through your mental reactions to that. You are suffering yourself through the way you're thinking about yourself, not through the feelings that are coming out from within yourself. Even pain is not suffering. It's a relief to feel it when you really feel it, because as soon as you really feel that pain or that disturbance, immediately it starts to process. Immediately it starts to change. Try it. And that's the natural meditation of the body. Just to be exactly as you are, not trying to help yourself. So the ultimate in self-help is to get out of your own way, not to keep trying to fix yourself, trying to repair yourself. At first you'll use things because this is new to you. You know, you may correct your diet, you may take some supplements, you may visit a masseur. That's okay. But the reason behind it has to change. You cannot improve yourself in any way, because the point at which you're at right now is perfection itself, is exactly where you should be and where you need to be in order to resolve any imbalance and any distress and any problems that are at that point in your life. And the problems that are making problems insurmountable are thinking that you have to fix them or that someone else has to fix them for you when they cannot. They cannot fix you. No one can help you heal yourself. And you can't help you heal yourself, but you can get out of your own way by stopping anything that's harmful to you. That's the first thing. Stop anything that's harmful to you. You'll find that hard at first. And the trick to that is when you do things that are harmful for you, come back to the feeling that's driving that and really feel that. So this is why it's so important to learn how to feel, so that you can come back to those very powerful driving forces inside of you that cause you to do harm to yourself in what you eat, in what you think, in what you do, and so on. And coming back to the feeling behind those thoughts, those words, and those actions that are harmful to you and other people, staying with that disturbance, staying with that feeling. What I mean by that is not going into action out of that. By simply staying with that, you will find that over time, that will take you deeper and deeper into itself, into yourself. And that is exactly what should be happening, because that's where the healing happens. In the distress that would become harm if you act it out, going into that distress that draws you deeper within and into it, that harm dissipates. The potential for that harm is taken away by feeling into the distress that you don't want to feel, that you're trying to get rid of. Now, one very important point that occurs here: what are you doing when you're trying to get rid of that distress? What are you doing when you're trying to get rid of anything? You're attacking it. You're harming yourself more. Anything you try to fix, you are attacking that. You are harmful to yourself every time you try to help yourself through trying to change the way you are. This is not helping you. Every time you try to help yourself through trying to change yourself or improve yourself, all you'll end up doing is disconnecting from the self that you are, from the condition that you're in, overriding that, suppressing that, denying that. And that will continue underneath, even more damaged from you trying to fix it. So there's nothing you can do. Anything you do through thinking to try and fix yourself is going to keep the problem going, just in another form. But definitely keep the problem going, because the essential problem is you don't like how it feels to be you. Because you don't understand that how it feels to be you is exactly what you need. You need to feel that. And in feeling that, that feeling will take you deeper into it. And in going deeper into it, you'll feel it in a way that you've never felt it before. In a way that as you go deeper into it, you also feel greater and greater relief from doing that. And the first relief you feel is simple as this. You've been in a disconnected, disassociated state in all your thoughts about yourself, and every time you've tried to help yourself, you've come from the outside in a disconnected, disassociated state, and you're quite removed from the part of you in pain. And so the part of you in pain is actually under attack when you try to help yourself. And when you stop that by simply coming back to the feeling of that part of you in pain, then you're allowing yourself to be in that condition, not going along with the social concepts that you mustn't be in this condition. You have to be in the condition you're in. There is no way out. You have to be in that condition, and that will take you in. That will take you into yourself, into where you will heal it, into where you will come to understand yourself from the inside out in a deeper way than you've ever understood yourself before, returning your power to you, that you have the power to heal yourself. But you have to go into the feeling of what it is that is disturbing for you in your life, in your lived experience of yourself today. And just let that be there. Let yourself be in that. And this is where getting out of your own way enables whatever needs to happen in your own healing process to happen. But you've got to get out of the way. Stop trying to help yourself. The idea of helping yourself starts with the idea there's something wrong with you in the first place. And that is the con of religion, the con of spirituality, the con of medicine, the con of society, that no other animal in the planet for millions of years has ever had to endure that bullshit con. And they lived at a much higher level of health, a much higher level of sanity, a much higher level of their own natural way than we can even imagine. We can only look at that and go, how do they do that? This is how they do it. This is how we do it. Come back to our own natural state. Get out of the way. Stop trying to fix and help yourself, and notice how it is to be you, but in the body of you. And this is the ultimate in self-help, when you stop trying to help yourself, and just let yourself do what only the body of you can do. So any distress you have, any problems you have, just feel the distress of that in your body and leave it up to your body, and it will take care of it. But at first, you'll still want to use all sorts of methods that are on the market today. But after a while, when you really learn to feel yourself as you are, you will discover that they are all bullshit. They're absolutely unnecessary. It's already within you to heal yourself, and only within you to heal yourself until the day you can't. And on that day, then you'll die. I hope that was helpful. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me today. If this talk resonated with you or helped you in any way at all, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the talk with your friends so that they can get the benefit as well. Okay, bye for now.